a Highlander version instead of it, and it's been working out 100 times better.
All right, we're live.
Hello once again.
Also, Pirate Warrior's stupid.
Pirate Warrior is a little crazy. Yeah, Ankar is gonna get nerfed.
Dude, Ankar is so godly.
You know that one card though, the one that changes another minion into a 5/4 with rush.
Oh, that one. That's gonna get nerfed big time.
That's gonna get nerfed. Every deck is carrying
Yeah,
it.
I know. It's such a good neutral.
I mean, make it a class card. Maybe put it in a class that doesn't use it as much.
Okay, hold on. Before we continue with like Hearthstone stuff, okay, the last one. Do you watch Brian Kibler?
No.
Okay, he's a really good MGT player, but he plays Hearthstone as well. You should look up his some of his decks because he makes some really fun ones. He has a controlled Dragon Warrior deck, and it's really fun.
The fun decks oftentimes aren't the ones that can hold top tier though. Those are the crazy.
Dude, I've been on a win streak with it though. I'm just like, holy shit, this deck's really fun.
A lot of people aren't. A lot of people are trying to.
Also,
read your deck.
also, what is it? It's the expansion just came out, so the meta's like completely unstable.
Yeah.
And then there's Shaman.
I've been playing Galakine Rogue, and I actually had a 5-game winning streak the other day. And I just lost this morning. It was a ridiculously bad RNG for my hand.
Oh, yeah.
But, I'm holding steady right now at about 12. So.
Hoping to get to 5. I gotta play some Rogue. I know there's this one guy who made a really good, Rogue Highlander deck, and it's been, climbing ladder with it.
Anyway.
Are we live?
We are live. We've been talking about Hearthstone live this whole time.
Yeah.
Just checking.
We're live. Ha! Okay, there. I did my scream.
Alright. So, as of... I'm sorry. I shouldn't have put gum in my mouth. Okay. As of last week... By the way, we also have viewers already. As of last week, the group set sail from the island Ishino docks on the other side of the world and started heading out across the northeastern seas towards northeastern continent of Go.
Woo!
While they were traveling, a storm started chasing them, and the moons aligned, opening a gate into hell, and the ship was drawn in. And upon arriving on a small island in hell, docking the boat, a few of the folks got off, 2 stayed behind Marcy and Buckfruxter, and they got into all kinds of trouble.
Anchors away, boys.
Down.
Being pinned.
Anchors away.
In multiple horrible situations.
I mean,
Oh
really,
yeah, and the evil eye. All I had to say was one phrase, and it wasn't blamed on the DM. Immediately, it was character to character. Oh, you didn't. I love that. Just got Buckfruxter in total trouble. But other than that, met Beelzebub, the king of the flies, and the king of hell, and they also found that Shalom is in hell as well. Seems to be buddy-buddy with the King of the Flies, and both of them sitting back and, for now, just watching your guys' suffering as you're trying to make heads or tails of your situation. You, and Cast are on the shore. Thane has gone and swum to the boat, and Marcy is on the boat, and you are on the boat. And I will say, for the current of getting into it, we'll start on the boat. Thane is currently cursing and swearing, and Lemure is currently cursing and swearing because no matter what he does for the last 5 minutes, the sails are flowing properly, the rigging is rigged up, but the boat refuses to go against the current.
He also attacked me.
He did.
Question before we continue, so I could think about what's gonna happen for my character since I wasn't here the past 2 weeks or something.
Peace.
Yeah. The fact that the moons align, how is my character feeling about all that as well? Did it affect me, or do I have to roll for that when it's?
It did not.
Okay.
It did not affect you, and it was very strange that something that should, that you were born on the day of had such a drastic, unexpected result.
Yeah, that's what I was just wondering. It's like, did it affect me or something? But like, since you said now, it's like,
I will mention this, that the last time you took a look into this, and I would say you have, he was also watching you very closely. He was observing, but he also observed last week that you seem to be locked in on Wrath.
okay.
For whatever reason.
Okay.
But,
Interesting.
Anywho, what would you all like to do?
Not die.
Not easy to do in hell.
Where is Ymir now? Or whatever the fuck his name is.
He's currently fighting with the rigging and trying different knots and basically, you know what you do when you try to do the same thing over and over again, you know, because something's not working and so you're repeating it, hoping that you missed a spot.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
Far Cry 3.
Yeah, he's basically he's doing that right now.
Is there any paddles on the boat?
Paddles? It does have some oars, but you're not on the boat.
Oh no, I'm saying, is he using them?
He's tried, but it's not having an effect.
Okay. Alright, so, I look up to Shalon, and I'm like, well, maybe the reason why he asked for the stones was to give them to you.
Who was that? I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I thought we're on Michael right now for the boat.
Last session, I told Beelzebub that Shalon was also looking for the stones.
Mhm.
And so I said maybe the reason why he was looking for them was to give them to you.
And they did give each other an interesting evil eye. Shalon kind of smiled and yeah, it was interesting.
I was trying just to cover a wound.
Yeah, that was actually old. That did happen last week.
Yes.
Yeah. But anyway, Michael, any thoughts?
Buck's not having a great time.
Mm-mm.
He's been going through a lot ever since the talk with the dragon and finding out more about what happened, getting almost killed by a lynx, going to hell, not understanding what hell is, and then being told that the lynx might be back.
I had
forgot
that
about
too.
that.
Round 2!
And this motherfucker just shows up out of nowhere that Buck has never met before and starts yelling at him and try to punch him. So Buck's going to load the in case of emergency bullet.
Okay. Where's my... Oh, here it is. My dice tray. This might have very interesting results.
And very slowly aim it at you.
I'm gonna have to write down a note in my notes. It's gonna go in the back of the book. It's gonna go in the back of the book, so everyone on stream can hear it. Give me 1 minute, because this is very relevant to plot story.
I got you.
Oh, he's been waiting for you to do this, apparently. I was right. Yes, my child. It is time. Then he's gonna pull a Master Oogway on us or whatever. You put the bolt, you shoot at him. My time has come.
Did I play Borderlands 2?
Yeah.
Did you find the Ninja Turtles?
Yep.
Did that hurt?
No.
Alright.
They
Dang
did
it.
scat guys on pizza.
What about, sorry,
They're
We're
not
good.
turtles, they're rats.
I got the note written down. It is in my book of, many things. And we are good to go. So you've loaded the in case of emergencies bullet.
Which, by the way, the anagram for in case of emergency is ICE.
Yes.
It's an ice. Which I appreciate.
Dang, I don't remember. What did we do with Thane's pages last
I
week?
think it's right here.
Thank you.
Alright, just gonna put
Should have that handy.
Just gonna put a big ol' X on him.
And he does
See.
not
Alright,
have
and,
his
just
weapons
myself
or
out.
anything, so he's a dude in a
Unarmed
dude.
And on
Oh wait a minute, no, he got his armor back. He got his armor back. I remember.
Yes, he
that.
did.
Yes, he did. So he got his piercing resistance tailor suit and his battle axe. Yeah. Okay. Oh no, the battle axe is gone.
It's okay,
Okay.
Joe. You could just put a big X on him. We know what's gonna happen.
We can hope. Okay, so you've loaded the bullet.
It's aimed,
Okay.
and I'm gonna shoot.
Thane, if you're watching, I feel your pain. Alright, we're gonna have to roll an observation check to see whether he sees this coming or
You want me
not.
to roll stealth to against it?
No, I'm just gonna use the regular DC of it. What is your stealth value?
7.
7? Yeah, he sees it, so he could try to dex out of the way.
Okay,
Charisma out of it.
still going for it.
Go ahead. You declared it first, so.
It's a nat 1.
Okay. Yeah. He sees it and he's just like, oh, and he just ducks underneath and it flies harmlessly into the beyond
The abyss.
the abyss, quite literally.
Well, shit.
And Marcy, she's like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Tired of all this goddamn bullshit.
You don't think the rest of us are like that? And he, Love, he comes over and he's like, he actually walks up to you. He's, yeah, he's pissing vinegar right now, and he's gonna take a swing at you, and for taking a shot at him. That's gonna be a. It's gonna be a 17 hit.
Try and dex it.
Yeah, sure.
27.
20. Okay. Yeah, just right in between his legs.
Take another shot. Just a regular ice bullet.
Sure, go ahead.
Fucking what is that? 21.
21 is not going to beat his natural 19, dexterity.
Can Marcy defuse the situation?
I can't play Marcy very well, unfortunately, so I'm just gonna roll a general charisma check for her. Anyone's got her book? I think it's back there.
I think this is cast.
Is it cast?
Yeah.
Is it down there?
Yep, Marcy's right here.
Okay.
So charisma's a 6.
It's a nat 1.
Oh, well, never mind.
Fuck it. Asexual.
Can she be a very persuasive nat 1?
That would be a D4 on top of the nat 1, which is still a nat 1, so...
Oh, well, we tried, boys. We tried.
Yeah, dang, it's not fun having characters missing. But yeah, you're both dueling and both missing each other horribly on the boat.
Well, so much for that case of emergency.
Yeah.
Did you see?
I'm gonna pull the fucking crystalline wand
Okay.
and use that.
Oh my god.
Don't destroy the boat.
Okay.
I think Bucks had
Did
it
I
up.
give you details on that?
No.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and, at this point, you're so close to him, roll a melee precision.
Ooh boy.
Yeah, because this is melee combat.
19.
And that is not gonna be enough. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, okay, roll a d20 plus your knowledge.
13.
Okay. That is going to hurt. Could I have a pencil, please? You tried. You so tried.
John, here you go.
Okay. Ouch. Let's see here.
Scream out all the things that Buck wants to say while you're doing this.
He's just like frothing at the mouth. And
Okay. You turn around, you just grab the wand off your back, and you fire. And it hits him point blank range. And he goes flying back a few feet.
Off the boat. Back in
He fails his stun save. He is currently stunned, sizzling, and he looks pretty bad.
Is he affected as well?
No.
Okay.
Wait, sizzling. The man's on fire?
Sizzling. As in, the heat did burn him, but the residual temperature is still, sizzling.
Okay.
It's like taking your bacon off the griddle, it still sizzles on the plate.
So his skin...
So, he's stunned,
He's
he
burned.
loses his round, it is your turn at this point.
do I finish him off?
I never thought this would be the way love would go out.
Wait, are you gonna... Marcy, hand me the knife!
Oh, Marcy, let's see here. Oh, Jay, Carl! This is why we need you to come roll dice for yourself.
What do you mean?
I'll
He
roll
rolls...
it.
What do you mean? He rolls just as many nat ones as he does normally as you're going right now.
That was a 4. That was a total 4. That was horrible.
What? Hold on. Is it charisma?
Yeah, a 4
Oh,
plus a 2
wait.
plus a charisma.
Hold on. He has a charisma of 6.
So a total of 10.
Yeah. Is it a very persuasive 10?
Wait, you said 4 plus
That
2
is,
plus his charisma?
that is with the persuasive advantage. Yes. 10 and under is still failure.
Wait, you said
They don't go against it?
Wait,
he
hold on.
rolled a 4 plus a 2 from the D4?
Oh yeah, you're right.
So
So
that's
it is
12.
12. Go ahead and roll against that then. Sure.
What, me?
Yeah.
What, just
She's trying to get you to
charisma?
stop, fighting.
Please stop. Don't
Just
hurt
charisma
this
against
man.
their charisma?
Yeah.
17.
Nope. Marcy better stay out of the way because she's gonna get fried too.
Buck's like, I am bloodthirsty.
Underneath the king. I just put my gun, I guess.
Okay.
Do I hear any of this?
No, they're like 1,000 meters away now.
I mean, lightning shot up into the sky, right?
Would we have heard that at least?
you did see the lightning flash, but that was about it.
Thor?
I rolled a 1 on deciding on what Buck was going to do. A straight up just 1.
Okay, you put the gun to the side of his head.
Long live
Go ahead and roll a d20 plus your dex.
Wait, hold on. Look, he's stunned, so doesn't he get
19.
like an advantage?
It's an automatic crit, yes.
Yeah, it's an automatic crit since he's stunned.
19
Yeah,
plus your dex.
that's total.
19 times 2. Or no. Roll the dice again, because criticals you roll twice.
Oh, I'm rolling damage.
Yes, you're rolling
Question.
damage.
With the natural one,
that's
when
another
first shot
8.
this gun,
So
didn't he have
27.
it down?
I did not put in misfires for anything, I don't think yet. Is there a misfire value on your gun?
You'd never.
Okay,
gave me
so
one.
no, you just totally missed.
Okay.
This isn't. This is a gun that's been previously crafted for you. It's pretty well crafted. This isn't
So-
something that you had to design yourself.
27.
That's 27 total, yeah.
27 total. Okay. Okay, he definitely looks bloodied.
Stupid tall people and their tons of hit
He
points.
does succeed his Constitution check, so he does not automatically die from a point-blank bullet to the head.
He's just like, blah. He's a little brain dead.
But he's looking extremely poor now. Marcy is also terrified at the back of the boat.
Am I feeling this energy that,
Give me 1 second.
that Buck is giving to fuel my wrath? Yeah.
I have to get the calculator out for this. I can't math. I've been up since 5 o'clock yesterday. So... Okay, that's what I did. That's... Oh, what? Oh, okay. Yeah. See, I can't math worth anything. Okay. At that point,
He be dead.
he's bleeding out the side of his head. Are you going to take more actions, or are you going to pass the turn to him?
I think Buck thinks he killed him.
Okay, so you're getting up and walking away.
Just like taking a few steps back.
Okay. It takes a moment.
Still breathing very heavily.
He's breathing, and he starts to stand back up, and he's going to lunge for you. You can either dex or you can tank the damage.
I have a defense of 2.
Okay.
Of course he's good.
That's a 24 for dex.
Oh, you completely dodge. Completely. That's a 9 plus an 8.
One more shot.
Okay. He's gonna chase you around the deck a little bit. He's gonna burn some actions to try to take your gun away.
What's his agility?
His agility is a 6. He can pretty much go anywhere in a single turn on this boat.
My agility is 7.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an agility check while he chases you around the boat.
17.
Hey,
Is
I
he
need a giant RIP here.
Is he like bleeding out while chasing you? I'm gonna get you.
Technically speaking, this is not a high enough tier piercing damage to cause bleeding. So,
How bad did you miss with your point blank shot?
I don't know.
you can actually take some interesting damage to the head and survive. So,
Yeah, that's true.
but go ahead and roll your final. Your once it comes back to your turn, he's been chasing you around. Go ahead and roll your attack now.
Oof. That's a 10.
Natural 20 to dodge.
Yeah.
How many bullets you got left in the gun there?
That was 3 shots, I believe.
1 whiffed, 2 whiffed,
Yeah.
Excuse me.
third one point blank range, 4th one you have 2 shots left. 6-shot revolver.
Wait, where did the second shot come from?
When you went in between his legs, you shot over him and he ducked again.
Wait a minute.
So he's going to try to find my dice because I just lost it. It's a horrible day. My lovely metal dice. Oh, here it is. Got it. Okay. Jeepers. Okay, I'm gonna roll to see whether he's gonna attack or try to flee off the boat.
I'm wondering how.
Just out of curiosity, is Shalom gone?
He's still standing next to you. We'll get back to you in a minute.
I was checking if he's watching the show.
The real question: how's Rias handling all of this in his coma state?
I will not comment on that right now.
Oh, God.
It's okay. Apparently, I'm Rias' new father now. So.
Okay, so he's gonna continue fighting on the boat.
Okay.
He's gonna try to go for an attack and grapple away your gun. It's a natural 2. Please fail your dex save.
It's a natural 20.
Come on! Come the frick on! Why? Okay. He fails, and dang, without his.
Just accept it, Joe. He's going to die.
Go ahead and roll one final. I'm gonna roll for Marcy to see if she can finally settle down the situation again. Natural frickin' 20. Okay, so basically, at the point where murder is about to be occur, she screams and she's standing between each of you, epic Naruto, style, whatever. Top hat,
You mean like this?
kind of.
Yeah. Height difference.
One leg stretched out really far to compensate for the angle. And I don't think. No, Thane doesn't stop either. Yeah, natural 20 still beat him as well. So both of them have to calm down.
But considers murdering Marcy.
Oh my god.
Okay.
But ultimately decides against.
That being said, we're gonna go back to you on the shore. Is there any conversation you currently want to be having with Beelzebub, Shalon?
Oh, are they just right there in front of us?
They're on the beach with you guys, watching as you watch into the distance as you see
The boat.
with flashes and a few bangs echoing over the River of Souls.
Before, like, from the last game, did Beelzebub say anything to me or whatever, like, in
Yes.
particular?
He did say, he did ask, you know, wouldn't you want to help out your grandson? And he's like, why would I want to help him out? He apparently doesn't care for you all that much.
Okay. Thanks, Granddad.
It's my birthday!
Where's my present? Give him the little baby
Good
Yoda
boy,
look.
buddy.
It's like, give me my baby Yoda look.
Yeah.
Give me my chalky milk. But,
How about a present for him? Beelzebub.
are you asking him that?
Yeah.
You're asking, okay. He looks down at you and he's like, why would I want anything to do?
Charisma?
Sure. Go ahead. Roll charisma. Sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I mean, I was gonna actually help him with that, because I was gonna say something to Beelzebub as well, to help with that.
21.
Wait, can I add to it? Because I was gonna
I'm
help
looking. Thank God this. I actually wrote down his stats about 20 minutes ago.
Wait, I was gonna help him out because I wanted to say something to Beelzebub at the same time.
Sure. Sure.
Alright.
Go ahead. We're
So
just in hell talking with a demon.
Yeah, like, so what I'm gonna say to Beelzebub is that, it's like, wouldn't you want to help? Wouldn't you want to help one of your own kin? After all, we did meet the great dragon, and he does said, and he hates all of us very much.
He looks over at you.
And then let me add to that what he had. So,
Out of 21.
out of 21, so... Actually, no, that's Marcy. Hold on. Oh, wait, hold on. Ooh!
Wow! Advantage to its fullest.
Alright, so 17... That's a 22.
22 plus 21. You guys are so in sync. Okay. Well, he looks perturbed, staring around at the situation. He looks at you. He looks at Cast. He glares at Cast. He glares at you. He glares at you.
Oh, come on, we're not
Look-
best buds? All these
looks
charisma
over-
rolls?
Looks over at Shalon, looking down at his waist,
Has he ever not glared?
and he's like, if you want something for being my kin, you can visit me in my house. And he disappears. And there's just a trail of smoke that goes towards the castle.
What is Shalon's face after this happening?
Shalon is just sitting back, kind of stroking his little goatee of a beard. Kind of like Genie from Aladdin has. He's got the little goatee.
Mhm.
He's just stroking that, kind of leaned back on an invisible chair, you know, cross-legged, just watching, just enjoying the entertainment and the pure panic and weirdness that's going on, you know, between what's going on in the boat in the distance. You guys all talking here.
Shalom. It was like, you obviously seem to know a lot about Beelzebub. Seems like you two have been friends for
Chummy.
quite some time. What's his home like?
Why is it that all of you only ever want to ask me questions? I wanted to make a deal. Do you not understand why you are here? It is because I aligned the moons. I made sure the gate opened to make sure I dragged you into a place that you can't escape from. I wanted to make sure that you experience The same feeling that I had for nearly 2,000 years stuck in this crummy lamp! And he throws the lamp on the ground.
What happens to the lamp?
It sits there and just rattles off to the side.
How far away is it from me?
It's about, I don't know, 15 feet? 7 feet. 7 feet. We'll say that.
Okay.
But he's looking at you all. He's very upset.
This is... You know what? It's really not that bad here.
Not that bad. Oh, really?
Fucking spill your guts, motherfucker! Dude, in the jungle, my friend almost got eaten.
Do you know what people like you are forced to do to survive here?
Man, I got favors from high people. I'm sure you do too. I could get out of here quickly.
Let me show you something. And he waves his finger around. Anyone who does not want to go with him, roll a Constitution check.
Y'all going?
I'm going.
I'm on the boat.
Oh.
I'm on a boat.
Cast fails his Constitution check.
21.
21. Ooh. Okay. So you disappear. And he disappears. Castell disappears. You're left alone on the beach. You find yourself on an outcropping of rock, overlooking an empty, or I shouldn't say an empty, but a downcast city. It is a city that looks like a post-apocalyptic. Everything's falling apart. It's kind of ramshackled together. Various parts of old boats, parts of trees, rock formations carved out, and upon looking into it, you see hundreds of tall, fair, much-aged, white-haired beings. Hundreds of them. They all look drawn, wrinkled. They look not just hundreds of years old, but thousands of years old. And it's like homeless heaven, or homeless haven, I should say, not heaven.
Right.
But he, as you're seeing this, he says, "Look at them. We are in hell. Death does not come to claim the souls of those who are already here. And so they live on in torment, ever hungry, not able to escape. They are stuck here. Whether out of their own fear or stupidity, they come here seeking eternal life in a place where death does not care if you are here. And then they only find the truth. That the only way to find some ease to the suffering that you live out here is to cannibalize your own kind, or to find yourself torn apart, limb from limb, unable to die, and your soul joins them in the lake. It is agony living here." And he waves his hand, and you all disappear, and you reappear on the beach.
I have my hand out. What'd I miss?
You didn't want to come. I showed your friends here what is in store for you over the next millennia.
Some loud souls out there.
Say, and so the fates of those, and you compare that to living in your lamp?
Very much. Would you like to see? Do you know what this is, John? And he picks up the lamp.
Yes.
Do you remember what this is?
It is it's a cage.
Yes, it is a cage.
I'm talking to him.
It is a cage that held me for nearly 2,000 years.
Yeah, can I get my powers back?
Fortunately for me, I was able to make a deal with someone. And I was able, upon their death, to trade places with them. He comes over to you, dangling the lamp from its handle, and twists and pulls off the lid. Inside, you can see a figure. It's a female figure. Its clothes are in tatters. Looks like they have been many, many years wasting away. Her eyes have been completely clawed out. Her skin has claw and scratch marks all over it. And she is in a constant state of screaming and scratching at her own body. And he looks at you and says, "This is what happens to people who endure the agony of being stuck in here. In this lamp you relive the worst moments of your life over and over again. And so people end up tearing apart themselves just to try to ease their pain, to distract themselves. I do not carry the physical because I am what I am. But the damage it does to one's mind is permanent. Do you recognize her? Do you?"
I know who it is, but my old character's dead, so I can't
Roll
say
an observance check.
anything.
Probably not. It's in the 8.
I
He
know
leans
who
in.
it is.
Do you remember a certain red-haired woman that used to travel with you?
Yeah.
That friend of Monroe. The woman that hung on his arm and wore his band of matrimony. She sold her soul to me. And now and he materializes a lamp and just starts to pour out liquid scream he makes a cup, just pours out her liquid scream, and you can actually hear it. Now I feast on her agony. Would you care to taste what it is like? And holds that out towards you.
I've had enough agony from my past. I don't wish to share someone else's.
I'm gonna walk up. Let me drink from the chalice.
He looks at you slyly and hands it over to you.
It's like, I've experienced pain in my life. I need to know more so I can unlock, more about myself. So,
Okay.
taking a sip.
Alright, roll a constitution save. Or vitality check.
Vitality, that is a 13.
13?
Ooh.
You are
That's,
immediately floored.
Not very cool.
Well, I'm glad I didn't use this.
There are flashbacks, moments that you see. You see faces of a woman looking down at you, abusing you physically, hitting you. They're not your own flashbacks.
Oh, okay.
You see scorn from hundreds of people, chasing you out, constantly outcast, living alone, trying to get by. Your life has no purpose. No one accepts you. You have flashbacks of
Why do I feel like this is really related to my character?
you see the suffering of close friends. You see a dark-winged figure clothed in black as he runs through the body of someone that you can see cared for this person.
Do I recognize the figure?
The figure...
The black figure that ran the other person through?
Go ahead and roll a observation check.
That's a 10. No.
a 10?
Yeah.
No. There's not enough detail in the vision. All the vision is of that person losing their life.
Whatever. Okay.
But you see all of these repetitive over and over, hundreds of flashbacks of the life that you suffered through. There's not a positive moment that you see. And it just keeps repeating and repeating and repeating. And it feels like it happens for about a week. And then you finally come to realizing that it's only been a few moments.
I help him up.
He stands there, he's like, yes, this is what I drink to ease my pain of being stuck in this infernal world, unable to escape. And I drink it to constantly remind myself why I push forward. I want off this world. There are other places and other things I wish to do and see.
Is he looking at me when
Yes.
he says that?
His gaze falls across all of you.
Okay.
He's like, all I wanted was to make a deal. Find all 7. Bring them to the door. Bring me the book that is within the vault. I will give you whatever you want. I will give you rule over the world if that is what you want. Do this for me, and I will even let you out of hell itself.
Then let's make a deal.
That's why I'm here. And he flicks, and you're all sitting on the boat.
Okay.
Face piece of
Can
shit.
Can I resist?
It's Thane. It's Thane. You can.
I thought we were gonna go to the castle.
I mean, that's the plan, but like I want to talk to Shalom first.
He kind of thinks it would be best to have the entire group present. Go ahead if you want to resist.
Okay. Because I have not agreed to this. Vitality?
Yes.
Yes! 27.
27? Yeah, that succeeds. Everyone except for John appears on the boat, and he says, fine. And all of a sudden, the boat is crunch on the beach. And he's sitting there, drapes his legs over top of the boat. You are a stubborn one. You know that? Piss me off.
I don't like to be moved around like furniture.
I'll eat your goddamn ass, you piece of motherfucker! And it's Thane, literally, both of them, their arms on each other's necks. Marcy sitting here dragging them apart. It's just one little, claw fest over there. So,
If the rest are not eager to listen, then why don't we make the deal, and I'll tell them what it's about.
so you would be the only one that leaves hell.
If it needs to be.
Alright then. Every one of the sins has a crystal in some way, shape, or form, either embedded in their body or on their person. They guard it. Each one is a key to a vault which holds some of the most dangerous and powerful items this world has ever seen. One of them is a book that can escape anyone who touches their blood to it, to any world within its pages, across the universe. Bring me the book, and I will give you whatever you want.
Alright.
Just to recap, your character was there. Beelzebub said that if you gather all 7, something will happen to you. Just a refresher, because you weren't here.
Yeah. Well, he said to you, it'll happen to you, because that was your current quest or whatever.
I was asking for you.
I think he was talking about you.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
I was trying to get information for you.
Okay.
But I asked what was your next step, and the next step is for you to gather all the shards.
Alright. I will accept, but on 2 conditions.
We are making a deal. What are your conditions?
The first condition, and I'm gonna look at you. The reason for my wrath. Every time we try to talk to the demons, you seem to be holding back on me. When we tried to talk to the one in the sarcophagus, when we met your undead friends and his experiments, I awakened the tomb, but you ripped the stone out of her heart before we could talk to her.
She wasn't alive.
That stone was very much, though.
Yes. Have you fought them before?
I am the son of one.
Yes, the son. You were lesser. They are very hard to beat unless you have...
I'm gonna cut you off immediately at that point.
Okay.
Give me the stones now. That's the first condition, and only I can keep them.
You currently have 2 in your possession, correct?
Yes.
Roll an observance check.
19.
Okay. That's 22. He produces both crystals.
I try to go for it.
Go ahead. Roll a dex check.
Ouch. 13.
16. He snatches them back. He's like, I don't think so. It was too difficult getting these from you in the first place.
I splash water around his hand, and I use the water to gather it and bring it to me.
Go ahead and roll a... this is a knowledge check for the manipulation.
Bad roll after bad roll.
Why'd you get 2? This is
10 on a die.
10. Tiebreaker.
Okay.
Ooh. Redemption!
10.
Nope, 22. So he snatches them up, and he just disappears, and appears on the other side of the area, on the other side of the group. He's like,
I strike lightning.
check your bag. They're in there.
The second condition, before I ask for it though, could you tell me, do I know that I'm only locked in on Wrath at the moment, or?
Roll an observance check.
16.
Yeah. You've kind of felt that Wrath has been the only thing that's been plaguing you at all.
Why am I currently locked in on the sin of Wrath, and I can't experience the other sins?
Well, when you commune with a demon, one of the 7 sins, and they attach to you, not only did you allow her to be rebirthed by giving her someone to latch on her sin to, but being who you are, with your gifts, it has allowed you to focus. Gaining the allegiance of all 7 would allow you complete control over the sins. Not only would you be able to exploit them, but you would also be able to influence others. You would be the ultimate tempter, worthy of the gates of hell itself.
Is there a way you could make it a little easier for me to gain access to these other sins.
You will need to defeat them on your own. Your connection with Wrath was easy because she was unbirthed. The others, you will need to defeat, and slowly, one by one, give them rebirth again, attached to you.
I look at the stone. I just grab both of them. I present. I look at him and say, "Can you at least give me a way to talk to Envy then?"
Envy has secluded herself from the realm of the living. She has been rebirthed by another, one not so ill-inclined as her own.
Could you give me the name of this person then?
Netho.
No.
Lily Netho. She is an angel-born Nephilim who sought to convert Envy and cure her. Seek her out if you wish to destroy her. But you will also have to defeat Netho.
Do I hear that?
Yes, you're there.
And then where is Lily Netho located? Is she in the land of Go?
She is north of Go.
North of Go.
Far across the deserts, into the deep woods. She is a Nephilim of the elves.
I have a general idea where she's at.
So,
Then I guess the last question I have for you is like, of all the sins now, who's the nearest one out of here?
the easiest one to find once you leave this place will be Greed. He is currently the king of Go,
I'm well
and
aware
you
of
have met him. But in order to kill him, you will also have to kill his wife, for she is his host. It used to be that his gold was, and he was weak. But with a human host, he is much more powerful. And I fear not even you, and could you persuade your friends to fight alongside you, not even any of you together could defeat him. You will need to practice. Find allies if you need. Become stronger. Hone your skills. I have patience. Do not waste it.
I stick my hand out, then we have a deal.
He pulls under his robe a dagger. Slices his hand. Hands it to you. He takes your hand. You feel a surge of strange power that you have not felt before. Direct connection with a demon. Physical and mental. Bring me the book, and you will have anything you want. Both of you disappear, and you find yourself in a field.
Okay. Like, well, is it a field of what? Flowers?
Just grass. Grass flowing in the wind.
Anything else?
Miles of grass flowing in the wind. In the distance, you can see a mountain formation that looks similar to the southern mountains of Go.
Okay.
And that's where we leave you for now.
Okay.
He is still standing there, but Carrick completely disappears.
Well, shit.
I don't get what you're doing, unfortunately.
It's a backpack.
It's a backpack.
Let's see if I can't find the gems.
He has his backpack and all his stuff with.
You see, he's still there, but his mind is gone.
No, Shalon is gone.
No,
Oh,
Shalon is
still
still
there.
there.
Oh, okay.
Shalon is still there.
Carrick
Okay.
is gone.
Carrick, his
I thought his
person, and all
mind
his
was gone.
belongings are completely gone. He is back in the land of the living.
Oh, fuck! Guess I'm going to the castle alone. Jeez.
Like, why did he send me there? I wanted to go to the castle too. Fuck.
The shit I do for him.
This is a castle. I don't like being here.
Why did he send me back out there? I want to go to the castle.
Oh. Jeez.
Take me out.
Alright.
So, question: since he said Wrath, like, is locked on to me or whatever, since I basically reawakened her, does that mean Wrath and I are BFFs to some degree?
Wrath is a literal child right now, if I understand correctly. Oh, I just closed it. Or maybe a figurative child. Sorry.
Give me 1 minute. Okay. Carrick, while you're standing in the field, you realize that you didn't get to go to the castle. That was a little unplanned. But while you're standing there kind of pissed, let's see here. While you're standing there really pissed and upset, in front of you a small cloud of black appears and a sword into the grass in front of you.
I go to this. Is there like a straight, like, just pitch black sword or whatever?
It is. Roll an observance check.
Like, is there like a strange energy or aura coming from it? Well, 10.
10. It's not that hard a roll to hit. It is silver.
Alright.
Hints of red. Looks like it might have been cooled and forged in blood. But it also has this strange buzzing coming from it.
I pick it up.
When you pick it up, around you throughout the grass and all surrounding you, there is this swarm of insects, these little flies and gnats. And as you hold it, you feel you have this item. 2 sides to the page.
Holy shit.
I looked at Shalon. You know, he was supposed to get his present.
Now don't worry. He got it. I make sure my friends get what's coming to him.
I'm his friend.
I'm your friend. Do you want to make a deal?
Well, I had a sheet of paper that I've been writing. I wrote up a contract.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask Shalon to pull away from everyone. Because,
Sure.
Then I will send you.
Text message?
Yes.
Oh, I gotta turn on silent mode before
Yeah.
R2D2 screams out of the speaker.
Say, Guardian B2 say, you have a contract. What does it say? Ah!
It's just A, H, 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 H.
Still waiting for it.
Alright, it's gone. So it's a little lengthy.
Long text message.
Well, I didn't type out the text message. I wrote it in a notepad and then took a screenshot.
Oh, okay.
See, it's good.
No, this dice is garbage. Look at all these low rolls.
I just saw a natural 20, Nate.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen again. See? What did I tell you?
That was a 16.
You rolled 3 more. It works when it works. It curates your experience.
Oh. Let's roll the good old Carl dice. Oh.
I think Carl's dice is just imbalanced.
It's rigged.
To be low?
I mean, yeah. With the opaque dice, sometimes when the molding sets in, there are air bubbles or inconsistencies in the plastic as it's set, so it can become weighted to one side. The clear ones are pretty much exempt from that, and I think these metal ones are pretty good as well.
Okay. He looks at the contract, reads it over. He's like, "This is very acceptable. I think we can make this work."
Okay.
Once again, he holds out his still bloody, dripping hand
I will
with a knife.
take one of the lynx claws and just cut my...
Oh my gosh.
You have style. I like that as well.
Motherfucker, you wouldn't believe!
All right. Upon shaking his hand, you feel an interesting surge of charismatic power and intellect run through you. Gain a permanent +5 in both charisma and knowledge.
At what?
Did I gain anything whenever I shook hands with him or no?
You got a fucking sword.
Yeah, I got the. Well, that's from Belazub. I'm talking about my contract.
Your contract with him does not contain nearly the give and take. This guy has some charismatic abilities on his own. Yes. So enjoy your permanent +5/+5. That's
Oh.
10. That's 10 levels worth of.
My
oomph.
knowledge is now 13.
Holy shit! You can actually
I'm gonna have
charisma
to write
now.
this
I
down.
know,
though.
right?
I'm gonna end up writing this down in my book of many things.
Yeah.
I wish I got some buffs from him. Holy shit!
And upon shaking his hand, you find yourself in a field standing next to Carrick, holding a sword with a swarm of flies and insects flying around him.
Just manic grin.
Oh, you too.
I kind of feel like I'm gonna have to go back with Carl and Trevor tonight and say, "Hey, we're gonna go back and replay the events of this morning.
And be like,
How do you guys want to do this?"
Like, you guys want to make a deal?
All right, I'm suddenly seeing a demon and about 30, pretty girls in identical dresses
deal
with
or no
suitcase.
deal.
Deal or no deal.
Do or no deal.
I think
I'll pick number
Darksiders.
13. Say, I'll pick number
Part
12.
of Darksiders.
You've gained. They said you've gained the power of charisma.
Oh yeah. That's what I see.
What's his name? Virgil, Vandrin, some shit like that. It began with a V.
For what?
Darksiders.
Oh, that. I can't remember his name.
That's exactly what
Dude,
I see.
okay, stop for 1 minute. Michael, don't move. Look at his shirt. What do you see?
Ass.
It says 2016.
Ass 2016.
And that's what's actually on the stream, too. If anyone's actually looking closely, that's all that shows up. Okay. So, John, it's you, Castell, and Trevor, or Castell and Carl, on the beach. And it is, Shalom there as well. He's like, "So, your friends are wise. What about you?"
I hold on to favors. I don't cast them out unless absolutely necessary, and I especially don't do deals.
Shit, that's fucking great.
Very well. Enjoy your eternity here.
One more thing. Have you ever thought about doing something joyful? Like just skipping in a field of flowers?
I would honestly fucking pay to
I
see
tried that
someone
out
skip.
the first time about 10,000 years ago. It was good, but it lasted.
No. What I'm saying is, after you got out of the lamp, like you're feeding on other people's suffering of what you endured in there yourself, and then you sip on it. I understand it makes you feel better knowing that other people are suffering, but what you really need to do is like link arms with somebody
Get some chai tea.
and just
Maybe take on yoga.
have you tried?
You're playing Castell at this moment, by the way.
Oh, God.
I was just curious, just I don't know, watching you and him, the sorrow thing, just my life has been pretty messed up. As you know, I'm sure you know everything about me.
Yes, I've seen quite a bit. Your life is pathetic.
I wouldn't want to sip on more sorrow. I would want to try to find a little more joy in my life.
You have no comprehension. You have been alive, what, 36 years?
And I have been in places you've never touched.
So we're totally ditching them, right?
Oh, have you
We're
left
totally
this world?
ditching them, right?
I have not always been. I have been
know.
on other worlds.
I do
So
not
you know
know.
where the sins are coming
But
from.
with my contract,
Yes.
I may have to keep you alive.
Yes, I know.
So you do know yours. Well, hey, I gotta figure out how to
Plan
get
on
this
actually
boat
fulfilling
going
it, right?
and get my friends out of here.
Good luck with that.
I want to control my curse.
And he disappears. After
Do you plan on
possible
controlling
conversation with Marcy and Trevor.
I feel like something
Okay,
bad's gonna
I'm
happen if I
going
don't.
to do meditate
That's why it's a
and
contract.
try to do a mental link to the demon.
Give me 1 second.
Yep.
I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to text, or I'm going to call Carl quick and just double check and make sure there's no possible chance that she would make deal with the devil.
Okay.
Because chances are good I'm going to try to contact them and have another session tonight with just them. Maybe you two. We'll see how it goes. And if that's the case, we might cut it off here for you until they get here tonight.
Okay.
And then just focus on these two.
Yeah.
And then you can sit here and watch.
Yeah.
Um,
Have some popcorn. Be
I'll
like,
see if
oh,
I
what's he
can
gonna
get
do
Carl
next?
on the ringer here just for a second. He might be watching. I don't know. He might have an
honestly,
earphone.
I'm a little worried
Sure.
of what Cass is gonna wish for. All the angels to die.
That might not be in
His power.
Shalom's power. Seeing that there have already been angels in conflict with demons down here, they seem pretty well matched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless there's a certain someone to distract one of them, and you know.
We will never let you forget that. Hey, are you listening to the stream? Okay.
Oh, okay. Well,
All right. Sounds good.
Well, that's- there we
will
go.
need you tonight
No
after
deal.
work at my house.
hi,
All right.
Carl.
Good. I knew someone was listening on YouTube, but I couldn't tell who. So now I got to get a hold of. I haven't seen anything come up on chat.
Carl, make a deal. Do it.
It's pretty great.
It's awesome.
Oh, stupid. It was all covered up. Okay, I see it. I see it now. Sorry. Okay, now I gotta get a hold of Trevor quick. But, yeah, I will expect you here at my house tonight. I'll take a 4-hour nap before you guys get here. Let's shoot for 5:30.
Carl, make a deal. We got milk and cookies over here.
Carl, can you be here at 5:30 tonight? Carl?
It's Joe. They just made a deal with.
No. Is Trevor willing to make a deal with the devil, or does he want to play out other scenario?
That's what I thought. He said no.
All right. So I will expect both of you at my house tonight at 5:30. That work?
5:30.
Yeah, 5:30. Both of you.
Yeah, about 5. 4.
Carl, can you give him a ride over here?
Apparently, we're doing a sentence.
It will be you. It will be you, Trevor, and John.
So it'll be me, you, and John.
I'm not gonna get any sleep today. All right, I'll see you guys tonight.
I guess.
All right, sounds good. All right. So,
I mean, in between, there's nap time. I mean, I don't think we're
I'm
gonna
gonna
wait
take.
till 5.
Well, Bam Bam's gonna get here at 1
Okay.
with the tow truck to take the car and sign off the title.
Gotcha.
So after that, I get to go to bed.
No, read the comment. Read the part about
Okay. So,
Thomas has never seen such a
I'm familiar with the name.
Carrick, and Buck, both of you find yourselves in a flowing field, closer to 6. Oh, maybe I'll get a little bit more sleep in. I need to turn on the ambience again. There we go. Both of you find yourselves in a flowing field of grass, and you're experiencing for the first time the power of your sword. And you look down at Buck, who just appeared, and he seems to stand up a little straighter, and he looks just a little bit more amazing for someone his size.
4 3/4 now, bitch.
And he also seems to have just a little bit more of an intellectual look in his eye.
He's wearing glasses now.
A pair of specs just appear on his face.
Oh, and Thane is also with you guys.
Yep.
Who's glad that the little squirt is gone.
Not for long.
So, what would you two like to do?
Oh no, we were talking earlier. It's like, so, you made a deal as well.
Yeah. You know where we are?
Wait, what?
You know where we are?
No idea.
Roll an observance check, both of you.
Oof. 19.
19?
Like 13.
13? Okay. You're actually just... It takes you a little while, but you do start to actually recognize these fields feel a little bit like a place just south of your home.
Which home?
The home you grew up with in the later part of your lives. There is, if you're in the right area, there should be a wood to the north with a nice little pond that you're familiar with. And there is also a home nearby that has some very dark memories.
That motherfucker, he actually teleported me near the... At that thought... I'm just gonna start sprinting towards... old home.
Okay, roll an agility check. Both of you.
Woo!
Dude, the grass is as high as you are.
25.
Dirty 20.
A dirty 20?
A dirty 20.
Well, you're just shooting off. And then through the grass, as you take a moment and stop and look back, you just see a spot in the tall grass where it's just spread apart just a little bit and it's behind you, but it's not gaining on you. You're actually leaving it behind.
Goddamn short legs. Get us off my silver longer legs.
I stop. I was like, you need a ride.
Hey,
Waiting for this for so long.
Just jump on.
something else you should have asked for?
Oh.
Probably get those anyway.
Does it? Doesn't he have to
He
roll
gets
a
to
nat
try. He has to roll a 19 or 20, and he gets to try once per year between ages 100 and 110. So he's got a year before he gets to actually try.
Yay!
You get 10 chances. You get 10% per chance.
You almost have a 100% chance of actually rolling it. Unless your life sucks.
Yeah. Like, oh, nat 1, nat 1, nat 1.
Okay.
So,
But
anywho,
Yeah. Pick up Buck and continue running.
okay. You find the forest. You find old trails. You remember spending time walking through these woods with... I actually need to pull up your backstory because I forgot names of people.
Speaking of like backstory stuff, remember how you said I got to at least like 2 chapters into the book?
Mhm.
So what would I have learned within the 2 chapters?
I totally forgot to run through that. Because we were going to do that for the session with my dad and Carl and everything.
Yeah.
Totally different story ended up happening.
Okay.
It ended up being the Wolfman versus Frankenstein, pretty much.
Whoa.
It was really weird.
Frankenstein or Frankenstein's monster?
But you end up finding...
Yes.
Bypass.
Oh, both.
Yes.
I actually have to pull out your...
My backstory.
Oh, the Braithwoods.
Yeah, the
Mr. Braithwood. You actually end up finding trails that you and Mr. Braithwood used to run along, work on, do forestry, find materials for stuff you worked on. Picnic spots. A lot of memories come back of the life you had and how good it was and how you ruined it.
Yeah. Alright, let's see how I feel real quick. Okay, it hurts, but it's not as bad as I was thinking it was gonna be.
Okay.
It hurts.
Real quick, the hell ambience is still on.
Yeah,
He's
I'll
the only
find
one
you a
here.
field ambience.
I'm just
since-
saying, since he's the only one that's still in hell, maybe you should just have earplugs. Just playing it.
But like, let's see, my thing is, or whatever, it hurts, but it's, like, if I rolled, like, any lower with this, I'd probably be like, oh, this is fucking painful, but it's bearable, probably because I drank from the goddamn chalice.
There we go, much better.
Oh man, this is way better. Forgot how much I miss not red.
But yeah, I guess drinking from the chalice, I was able to, like, suppress some of the pain of it, or whatever.
Okay.
That's what I'm assuming, anyways, with my roll.
It feels a lot... It doesn't feel as bad.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
I mean, an entire week of someone else's worst memories flashing over and over, just enough to give you mental shutdown. Yeah.
I have built some fortitude. Still
Yeah.
hurts, but it's not as bad. But yeah, keep on trucking through.
Okay. Are you going to go to the old house?
Do I see the old house?
You know where it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to it.
Okay. Roll an observance check.
21.
Okay.
21.
21?
21.
You're stupid. Let's see here. Oh. Okay. Oh, wait a minute, that was... Okay. Alright. So, you come into the clearing. The old cottage is sitting there, thatched roof. It's a little white cottage. It's got hunter green trim on it.
How's it looking? Like, is it like, does it appear that someone else lives in it, or is it like, rotting?
You expected it to be rotting. It's way outside of town. No one ever came to visit the Braithwoods. They only went into town to visit other people. But it's upkept. It doesn't look like it's been weathered. And on the front porch, you see a young woman with blonde hair, blue dress, white apron, and she's sitting there working with some thread and needle just outside, doing some knitting on the front porch on a chair.
What time of year is it?
It's, I would say it's about early spring.
Does the woman see me or no?
No, she does not. She is involved in her work.
Alright.
And it is very light blonde hair.
Okay. So, like, where are we? Like in the front door area, or are we like in the back door area, like near
You're
the river?
towards the front of the house, but you're on the edge of the woods at the edge of the clearing.
Okay. I think of something to say. All right, I'm gonna approach her and say, hey, is it like morning, afternoon, or
It's take an observance check.
nat 20?
Okay. It is about 11:32 a.m.
All right. Wow.
33. 33:15.
I was like, started like doing like tracking moves. Okay, judging from the movement on the ground, the smell of the crisp air, the leaves falling at the right
stream
angle.
runs east.
What do your eyes see? They're taking the hobbits to Isengard.
What do your Nuffleheim eyes see?
Wait, blonde. Does she look familiar? Like
Roll an
someone I would have
observance
seen
check.
from my past. 25.
There are hints to her features that seem familiar, but you can't quite place it. But her head is still down in her work.
I'll be like, good morning, madam. How are you today?
She looks up, startled. Obviously, she's not expecting company. And she sees a strange, dark figure on the edge of the clearing, in the shadow of the trees, in black armor.
I mean, I was gonna start walking up while saying that. So,
Okay.
like, I'm not hiding behind.
Can't see me.
She's
Small
startled for
child.
a moment, a little afraid for a moment. But then she shouts, "Mama!" And from inside the house, another woman steps out. She wears similar clothes.
That being said, whenever she did look up, was I able to like recognize her now, or?
Roll an observance check.
Well, that's a 13. Okay.
Another woman comes out. She is tall, thin. She looks to be about her, I would say about late teens to early 20s. I would say about 24-ish.
Okay.
Long, white hair. Almost white with age. But doesn't match her build. And she's actually just a hair shorter than her daughter.
Okay. Do I know this lady?
Roll an observance check.
That's a 17.
17? No, you don't.
Okay.
She comes to the door, wears similar clothes. She's obviously been baking. She's kind of covered in flour. She's got it on her face, all over her arms, on her apron. She looks across and sees you, and she's like, "Hello, stranger. How can I help you?"
Hi, I was just traveling through the town with my compatriot, and
"Hello, stranger."
just taking a trip down memory lane. My family used to live in this house.
Your family. She steps forward. Roll an observance check.
That's in that one.
Okay. She steps forward while you're talking, and she looks, and she actually reaches up towards your mask.
I'll gently just like put my hand in the way. I have some really bad scars here. It's not.
Infested with pus.
Hold on. I'll be like, I have some bad
It's
battle
real frightening.
scars here. I don't think your
Like
daughter
the
will
worst
see this.
She looks at you and she smiles. She says, "Couldn't be any worse than mine." And take a closer observance check.
19.
She has little oval crescent teeth marks on her neck, on her arms. She looks like she has been attacked and ravaged, but scars have healed. She reaches up.
No, yeah, it's way worse than
Wait,
ours.
do I recognize her now at this point since she's up close?
Roll with a D8 advantage.
D8. Oh boy. Hold on. Where
That's
is it?
not D8.
I'm looking here with this. Ooh. Ooh. Got the full 8.
Okay.
Okay. 21. 27.
Okay.
Nice.
You look and you slowly see
If
not
this is
only
who I
the
think it
scars,
is.
but also deep red crimson eyes. And you realize that after 73 years, going on 74 years now,
If this is who I think it is, my character is going to break down.
Molly is still unaged before you.
Oh my god!
She reaches up. She takes off your mask.
And then Rick, you're gonna have to probably make a Constitution check. I'm just gonna collapse to the ground like on my knees. Hopefully you don't fall off.
As you're sitting there on your knees,
And
she raises her hand to slap you. She clenches it. She turns around and walks in the door and slams the door of the house.
Told you they were bad.
I'll be like, not now. I'll go to the door and just like gently knock. Molly, please. I cannot. I don't know how to fully explain things to you, but I know even saying I'm sorry cannot repair the damage that I've done. But please, could you give me at least a chance to explain myself?
Roll a charisma check.
Oh wait, wrong dice. Ah, fuck
She's
it, I'll
standing
take it
off to
though.
the side
Oh well.
watching it.
Inside.
Oh,
Okay.
shit.
Outside.
Ooh, okay, 19, 23. Hold on. Okay, 23. 27.
27?
Yeah.
Dang charisma. Bordering on epic success.
Yeah, I know, right? It's crazy having such a high charisma. Jeez.
There doesn't seem to be a response from in the house that you can hear.
Gonna
You hear no movement.
back off a little bit.
Off to the side, the young girl with the almost white but not quite white blonde hair, standing there looking wide-eyed.
I'll say the same stuff, but this time, knowing my character at this moment and how much of a big deal this is, I'll start crying while saying it.
Okay. She looks at you and she's like, "Are you my papa?"
Yeah, there it is.
Mommy used to tell me stories about a white-haired boy she loved. How he turned on her. Ruined her. We've always had to hide because of what we are. Can never go into town. Can't see anyone. The only one that ever comes is the white-haired older man who brings us things. Are you the one that hurt my mom? Well, don't just sit there crying.
I was not expecting this.
Loading, please wait.
No, I'm currently buffering.
She moves past you, opens the door, and closes it, and goes inside.
So people who don't understand out there. Oh, people who don't understand. Who that is.
If you weren't watching it at the very beginning of the series when we explained the backstories, it's too bad for you.
This is a lot to take in.
Buck, is there anything that you wish to accomplish in light of the current circumstances and where you are?
I'm not. Buck isn't sure what's happening, but he knows it's a very emotionally charged and heavy situation, and he has no idea where he is in the world. So he's just gonna hang back, still in view. Maybe start reading his book again.
Okay, he's currently sitting on a stump. He's currently perched using the axe that's sticking out of the stump as the back to his chair, and the axe blade actually comes up above his head, and it's like one of those double-bladed axes. But he's just sitting there reading his book. Just ever so once in a while, you see a hand reach over, and one massive page moves across.
Looking up, going back, and then looking up, and then going back.
You mean climb up?
I mean, just sort of like letting the book down.
My character now hates himself again.
Again, you mean you stopped?
For a little bit.
Was that a great idea? Come here.
You sit there for about 2 hours,
Yeah,
unable to move,
Like-
unable to talk,
processing it.
and it takes a little while, but a figure walks into the clearing on a horse. He's leading the horse, and it's got some packs and stuff on it. Molly! Daisy! Come on out! What? And he stops and sees you. He's carrying the saddlebags. Are you... Roll an observance check to see if you see him or if you're still too dazed.
I would assume I would see him, but like, alright. It's a 10.
10. You're not taking notice of him.
Hearing come up, I would have like.
You obviously see him.
I
You're
would've
not
tried.
dazed.
Carrot!
Huh?
You look up and you see a familiar, old, wrinkled face with black hair, long, red eyes. The skin is wrinkled with age, but it is still somewhat fair, with longevity.
Familiar.
And he looks at you, drops the saddlebags. He's like, Carrick, is that really you, my boy? the one page just he walks over to you,
Okay, hold on.
kneels down next to you, and he said, I didn't think you'd ever come home.
Okay, hold on. Is this Mr. Braithwaite or my actual dad?
It's Ivan Lushington.
It is my actual dad.
Yes.
I was about to say.
The end.
And that's where we leave off till next week, folks.
Now I can get you all in one fell
swoon.
Evil Mickey Mouse.
It's like, oh. Then it's like, Father.
We have a lot to talk about. I didn't think I'd see you so soon after sending message across the seas.
Yes.
I was hoping it would have reached you, but I haven't heard from His Highness in a while. But I've been keeping up things around here in your absence, hoping you would come back. She wasn't dead when I found her.
What?
And vampiric abilities can be spread.
I
So
did
I
this to
saved
her.
You nearly killed her. It was my bite that saved her.
But I made her suffer for all these years.
It was just last month that it was announced that Nephilim and vampires would no longer have to hide. I had not had a chance to come out and let them know the good news, but yes, they have been hiding in exile. A vampire and the daughter of a vampire. Both of them cursed to live in exile. They thought it was better than leaving you with more death on your hands.
The mask. I'll just take it and just like throw it at the nearest tree. He's like, I didn't want this.
He puts a hand on your shoulder. There's a lot of things that we end up regretting in our lives. It's how we keep moving forward that matters. It'll take some time and maybe a good many decades more before we can set some things right, but it's how you spend those times and keep doing the right thing in the meantime. Keep moving forward, and maybe they'll come around. I wasn't able to find you all these years. I looked. You always seem to be one step ahead of me.
And what of my mother?
She and I don't exactly get along all the time, but I see her and visit her on occasion.
When I got your letter, Greed told me that you both reconciled at some point.
To a point, but out of concern for you, I have been here separated from her to make sure that some things are taken care of. It was my fault that you left home. It was my lack of self-control and fear over your power that led me to drive you away from our place. If it was not for that, none of this would have happened. And so I counted it as my responsibility as well.
Then where do I start to make things right?
He taps you on the shoulder with his hand a few times, pats you on the shoulder, and says, "That I can't tell you. But I would say, as a father, being there for your child is probably a good first step."
Seems like they don't want me around, though.
Even if they don't want you around, the fact that you are still there can mean a bit. if it is at a safe distance.
I didn't expect to be here so soon. If anything, it was here by chance. But, I was told I had a daughter. Didn't expect it to be like this. And I was told to come see her at some point.
Well, it is fortunate that you came. But I also sense something darker about you now than I ever thought I would see. And I hope whatever it is, that you can overcome it.
I feel like in order to save myself and those around me, I have to absorb this darkness and then try to control it one way or another.
He sighs, squeezes your shoulder a bit. Do what you must. But try not to make the same mistakes I did. Look before you leap. And think carefully before you take action. Patience. Patience is key. And he stands up, lifts you to your feet, and gives you a big bear hug.
Okay.
Looks down on my lap. They just,
Roll it.
beautiful.
And who are you, my short friend?
I am Buck Fruxter.
Buck Fruxter. I have seen your kind running through the woods on occasion. There's not much that vampires' eyes do not see. You also seem to have been touched by some darkness.
Yeah.
What have you two been up to?
We were in hell like 30 minutes ago. I'm told it's bad.
Okay.
I don't really know what hell is, but it wasn't great.
I can imagine it was not great. I will not pressure you, Carrick. You have been your own man for some time.
Well, at least maybe you could give me some advice. And then I tell him how we met the dragon.
Oh, this is actually great. Okay, someone just commented in Twitch chat. Polar Knight says, awesome. It's like the evolution of beards from baby face to fully matured, and it's afternoon shave, baby face, and then full beard. I just now realized that. You are the Verizon of beard.
Woohoo!
Oh,
Oh, I thought
thank you, Polar Knight. That was pretty good. That definitely took a little bit of the emotional stress out of the moment.
I thought I wrote his name down. What was the name of the dragon again? The great dragon who ends the world.
I will have to look it up. I forgot.
Shit. I didn't write it down either.
I'm sure John did. John writes every name down.
I thought I wrote it down, but I guess not.
Um,
But yeah, I tell him about that, and then after meeting him, I tell him that, yeah, we got teleported into hell and we met Belazov.
I couldn't spell it. It's like Hara Tara Hyri.
I'll look at it later, and I'll probably look up the definition again and rewrite it down. I probably wrote it down on my white piece of paper, but I can't remember where it is.
But yeah, I tell him about all that.
He sits down. You tell him about the deal you made?
Yeah, might as well. Tell him about it's like if he could give me advice.
I do not know who this Shalom character is, but he does not sound like he is all what he seems.
Does he know about the other two though? Belazov and then the dragon?
Beelzebub I have heard of. The dragon I had not. Beelzebub is powerful. He's the king of the entire dominion of demons in this land. I have heard of him from your mother.
And speaking of my mother, when I talked to Shalom, he said the only way for me to beat my curse is by killing and or reawakening the demons. Or the
In order
sins.
for a demon to be reawakened, it must die first. If what he says is true, and you are set on mastering your gift, your mother's blood will be on your hands.
Was my mother aware of this though when this gift was first bestowed onto me?
I do not know. I do not know. He's basically sitting down in the chair that your daughter was sitting on. Daisy is sitting on, and he's unsure. He's unsure what to say. Unsure what to do. His son coming home and finding out he's just
Everything.
hop, skip, and a jump from hell into the front yard, and all of this accumulating together at one moment.
It's a lot to take in.
It is a lot to take in, especially when you're about 145 years old.
Is everyone listening to this? The people inside the house?
They
Roll
very well
insight
could
check.
be.
Oh wait, you can't.
You don't know.
Okay. I was just for story. I'm like, do they know?
If they are, they're not making note of it.
I'm just watching a movie here. Don't mind me.
I know. Don't worry, we'll get you to be the actor at about 5 to 6 this evening. Speaking of, they said it's probably going to be closer to 6, so I'll give you a little bit more time to sleep. But dang, it's only 11:28.
Got so much content to do.
Yeah.
But
Well, he says, well, excuse me for a minute. He picks up the saddlebags, knocks on the door. Molly, can I come in? The door opens. He goes inside. A few minutes later, he...
I was gonna talk to Carrick.
Okay.
When he,
Go ahead. While they're inside, go ahead, Doc.
what do you plan to do?
we have a journey to complete. But I should try to find a way to at least make some sort of amends now before we continue. We are... It's like Shalom, he did just teleport us into Go, so we are here.
I don't know if I can go with you.
I see what you did there. But, like,
Unintentionally.
yeah, it was like, so where do you plan to go then?
I need to get to work.
Then,
If I find any of the Dignuts things.
the stones.
Yes, that one. I'll let you know.
Alright.
Can I ask your dad about where you saw the other Ishmael?
We might as well, since we both have our own journeys to complete.
Alright.
So, yeah, that's pretty much, I guess that's it.
Okay. He comes back out of the house. Ivan does, and he's give them time. You can do what you like. I have a cabin about an hour from here on horseback. If you want to come stay the night, I could walk. It would take us most of the afternoon to get back there. We could have dinner.
Mistake. Yes, I would like that, but there's one thing I need to do before I go.
Alright.
And, I go out back to, like, I walk around the house to, like, the back door area where you said the river is, kinda, or whatever.
Mhm.
And, I take off my entire armor set, since it was Major Braithwaite's armor,
Mhm.
and I make, like, a makeshift grave. I just leave the armor there.
Okay.
So all I have is just my dad's sword. I don't have the armor anymore.
And the new sword.
And my new sword. Those are the only two things I have.
You have 2 swords. That's
Yeah,
it.
I have 2 swords. I'm leaving the entire armor set behind.
Okay. Alright, and then you follow your dad back to his house?
Yeah, I basically, like I say, I make a little vigil for him, say a few kind words saying I'm sorry, thank you for the life you gave me. And, yeah.
I did want to talk to Carrick's dad and ask where he had seen other Ishino, like,
Okay.
running around in the forest.
While Carrick is putting up his memorial, Ivan is putting his saddlebags over top of his horse and waiting. It's about this time that you can walk up.
I don't think I caught your name.
Ivan Lushington.
Nice to meet you.
I am the Count of the Lushington estate.
Coolsies. You mentioned that you had seen my kind running around. Were you able to tell me where, mostly? Where I could find a lot of them?
A lot of them? They are scattered a bit, but I have heard that there is a rather rough bunch of them. About 3 days to the east. They are wild. Most people avoid them. They like to camp out on the roads and hassle travelers. But they are often not seen, and those who are captured by them often do not live to tell the tale. But in my travels, I could, every once in a while I can see one skittering through the woods. They try to stay away from large cities mostly.
Okay. Thank you.
And so I approach. I see my mask that I discarded or whatever that I threw. I look at it and and say, and so what Greed said was true after all, that we don't have to hide anymore.
This sentiment is not quite up to date with the law, but it has been decreed that demon-born and those of other such lineage are free to move about and are to be unharassed. Doesn't mean it always happens, but so far I have not had any issues. I can care for myself.
Then I will no longer hide who I am, and I'll just leave the mask there.
It is a good feeling.
I was like, let us go, Father.
He leads his horse. He doesn't ride it.
See you around, buddy. Well, are you gonna travel with us, or
Where are they going?
They're heading about east and just a little north.
I guess I'll walk with you a bit, but at some point I got to go east.
Yeah, I was like assuming maybe you could like at least spend the night at the mansion.
Maybe,
or whatever.
But
Or
walking
cabin.
speeds, especially without a ride, for you, unless you decide to tame some neighborhood fox.
Can I ride a fox?
Probably. It'll literally look like the
The
dog
idea
running down the
is-
street with the Spider-Man puppet on top of him.
You ever seen the Labyrinth? The one dude that rides a dog around?
I can't remember. Are you talking about
What was
Pan's Labyrinth?
No, just Labyrinth, the one with David Bowie.
Oh, I remember that.
The one with the guy with the white hair that did the contact juggling?
That's David Bowie.
Okay, yeah. I've only seen that movie once. In like the key scene with the hands, like 2 or 3 times.
Oh.
Yeah, those were ingenious Muppet movies. It takes you most of the day to get to his place since you're all walking. They offer to let you ride on the horse if you want,
Sure.
since your walking speed is not exactly up to par.
I don't know his agility.
Unless you want to,
7.
unless you want to wear yourself out going,
I wouldn't mind riding on the
Marvin
horse.
the
I don't
Martian.
weigh much.
So, but you get there. It's a quaint little cottage. Not as white and well kept and everything as the other ladies. Obviously, the ladies like to keep their place looking nice, as homey as possible. Ivan, he has a bit more for a utilitarian.
Yeah.
It looks like, rustic log cabin situation.
Mm.
But he welcomes you in, ties the horse up in the stable outside. It's just a 1-horse stable.
I'll just ask out of curiosity. So, how's our old house?
Oh, they mentioned in the estate. It still stands.
Still stands?
It was secluded, for the most part, and your mother's ability to change her shape was also key in keeping us under the radar for many years.
Gotcha.
it is not a gift that I have, and so I tended to stay in the shadows.
Does she live at the manor by herself, or is she off somewhere else?
She goes in between the manor and capital city. Oftentimes, more than not, she is in capital city for political reasons, especially now that our kind has been accepted, and she can actually take up a more prominent role with her cousin and her other relatives.
When it's like when you and my mother were raising me, was there anything at the manor that could possibly help me with my curse? That anything I could find, research notes, books.
I don't think this was something that was researched so much that it was your mother's chance and instinct. It was merely by chance that you were born on the day you were, and it was also your mother's instinct to realize your true potential. It was only when she revealed it to me, thinking that I had come to accept what I had become, that it triggered old feelings. Old feelings that went back a long ways.
I figure. And then I remember now, it's like I show him the book that the dragon gave me. It's like, yes, I'm aware about some of it. The dragon gave me a book about your memoirs. And I show him the book.
He looks at it, turns a couple pages, and he's like, I forgot some of these times. You should enjoy reading it. And when you're done with it, let me have it. It will help my memory.
Did you end up staying with them? Are you spending the night? Because they're at the cabin.
I'll probably spend the night and head out in the morning.
Dang it! I keep dropping my dice because I can't sit still. Arigato.
Yeah, I'll ask him. It's like,
Origami?
you're so ignorant. But like,
Two things. One, right language. Two, wrong word. There is no word for you're welcome in Japanese. There's no proper response to thank you. Except for, hey.
Can't be much better. I just do like play Xbox with. Whenever he brings up Seppuku, I just say Sudoku.
yeah. But I'll ask him. It's like, while we're here, since I obviously decided to make a memorial to the second father that I've had, do you know any other places I could get like a good old set of armor for my journey ahead of me? Maybe anything at the old manor?
I did not keep my old armor. The only thing I had was my sword.
Speaking of which, would you like it back?
He sees that you have another sword. He's like, you don't use both?
I never tried.
You should totally
Well,
try.
if you're not one who is, if it's not something you are already trying, sure, yeah, I would like that back.
Yes, please.
Goodbye, whip sword.
He takes it, he holds it for a second, he's like, cranks open the bottom of it, he's like, you've never used all the juice.
Yeah, I had to.
That's expensive.
Do I think I could make more?
It's pure crystalline crystals.
Fuck. Okay.
So,
Well, time to...
Oh wait, who had that fucking chunk?
Well, time to, like, cross all this out now, because I don't have any of this anymore. Oh, I have the two sword in my tower shield. How do I forget? Was the tower shield part of, like, Major Braithwood's stuff?
it was, yes.
Okay, so I have nothing except two swords. Ah!
And you only have one sword now.
Oh, yeah. one sword now. I have absolutely nothing.
You are the lone one-handed swordsman.
Sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Your name's not Carrick, it's Kazuto.
Well, can I throw away this character model then, since it doesn't...
You could get it.
Yeet!
I'll use it as miniatures for other battles
No,
if
he's
you want to
never
get a
wearing
new one.
armor ever again.
I will
Just
never find another shield.
I can just imagine every 5 or 6 months he gets a new piece of equipment. Well, time to redesign the character.
Oh wait, I do have that other armor set, but you still haven't given me the stats for it, so...
Yes, you
The
do.
tier 2.
It's, yeah, the tier 2 set that you can't quite use yet.
Montage time.
Montage! But,
Which you have never really taken time to look at it.
Yeah.
And, you know, get some clear identification on it.
So all I got are the clothes on my back and this fancy sword.
That and, he does notice in your pack you do have armor. He's like, well, why don't you use that?
I've never
You ever
bothered
seen an armor
to
in your
look
lap?
at
You're
it.
just excited to see him.
I was like, I never really bothered to look at it. I got it as a gift during one of my travels. So I'll take it out, and I guess we'll both look at it.
This? Where did you find this?
Remember the dragon I told you about?
Yeah.
Well, he took one of his ships, and we stopped to one of his ports that he has, and yeah, that's where I found it in one of the treasure boxes.
This is... You found this in a treasure box?
Oh, yeah.
Warehouse, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a
This-
warehouse.
This is a young angel's armor.
Oh, fuck.
Oh.
He looks it over. I have only read about this. Angelic scouts wear this. You hear about it in books and stories about the old wars. It is said that the wearers of these controlled lightning and thunder. They were a force to be reckoned with. And for the first time looking over it, you actually realize that an odd shape in the back of the armor is actually made so that a winged person can actually wear it.
The irony.
It's like, it's too bad the spear isn't with it. It would be a complete set, though.
I think one of my other compatriots has the spear.
Have we abandoned in hell?
If you ever find that, it'd be worth a pretty penny to buy it back. If
Kind of
he-
left it in hell.
Depending on if he knows how much it's worth. Plug yours.
I
Either
wouldn't
that or
sell
step
it.
outside.
I'm not selling it. Kidding me?
He's like, if you can find him and get this piece back,
What about?
the whole set, something like this would sell for hundreds of thousands of gold.
Wasn't the short sword I got part of the same deal as his trident?
Yes. Not necessarily part of the standard carry.
What did I get?
Is that left on the boat?
I thought I
I don't
got
know.
this. No, I
No,
got the.
you have it.
Oh, okay.
It's in your
Wait,
bag.
you have the sword? I thought I had the sword because I wrote it down here.
You have the sword, yes, but there was a dagger that matched it.
Oh, okay.
Which is
It
the
was-
sword for...
That makes
For
sense.
him, it's a sword.
Okay, so yeah, I got the shield, I got the sword, and I got the entire armor set.
Oh,
It's a round shield, if I
How about
remember
this,
correctly.
though?
I think, yeah.
So, for the sake of the issue of having the party split
again.
massively,
Now these two people are splitting.
massively, I think we should end up talking via text over the next week and talk about what you want your characters specifically to do for the next 6 months.
Yeah.
And if you guys need to take some breaks over the next couple weeks, we can make it work out a little bit better because then we can just focus on Carl and John and Trevor.
Yeah.
And if we need to, we can have separate sessions. That'll give you guys some time to do some split party stuff.
Yeah.
And then hopefully at the end of a couple weeks, we can get everybody back together again. Because, yeah, not making a deal with the devil and having the party split is an interesting situation. And who knows, maybe they all die and we just focus on the two guys that made a deal with the devil and you guys make new characters that end up becoming their, hired, hands.
Yeah.
do you think about playing an Ishino?
Or better yet, you could play a girl named Daisy.
Hi, I'm Daisy.
That's funny.
And Carl wouldn't be alone.
So like, what was it? So
I hope Carl doesn't die in hell.
so
He just got his outfit.
wait, so like my so I can't wear the armor right now, right?
Technically no. You have to have a strength. I think minimum strength of 11 to start wearing any of the pieces.
Okay.
I think the shield required 11. Everything else required 13.
13. Oof.
Yeah. We'll see how things go with them over their next couple weeks, and we'll level you guys up a little bit in the meantime.
I guess that being said, would it be possible? Like, would my father knows like that? Would I know that I'm not capable of wearing this yet?
You've hefted it. It's really heavy.
All right.
It would slow you down.
Yeah. And so, like, that being said, that's why I'm asking if there's like any other places I could possibly find armor or whatever, because like I don't think I'm strong enough to wear this yet.
Roll a knowledge check.
19.
19? Okay. So, the way it is with the armor, you technically could wear it.
It would just be
But your
negative.
agility would go down massively,
Okay.
and your dexterity would be non-existent. You would always be hit, practically.
I mean, that's fine because I don't dex.
Okay.
So if I do donut, what do I get?
If
Besides
you've
the
done
negative.
it, you would get these stuff. I will go back through the videos and I will listen to what it was, and I will rebuild the cards because I never did build cards. I should.
Okay.
But it takes so much it's so much time to build them mid game, and oftentimes I just put items into play.
Okay, because if it's
off
only
the fly.
if it's just gonna give me negative stats on agility and dex, then I'm more than willing to wear it.
Okay. So yeah, you could wear it, I guess, if you really wanted to, but it's.
But what about the sword and the shield, though? Like, what negatives would that give me if I had to wear that?
It would still, the entire situation, your agility, depending on how many pieces you donned, for every piece your agility would get a -1.
Okay.
And once it hits 0, you can't move.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm a tank.
So,
Move me.
sword, greaves. I think you got the breastplate and the shield. That's 4 items. You would get a
You told me I
negative-
had a full armor set, so that's like helmet, breastplate,
And the helmet, so
greaves,
that's 5 pieces.
and then the shield. I don't think I'll wield the sword yet, though, but
Yeah, you might not want to, depending on,
because I like my new sword at the moment.
Yeah. But, the whole set, if you wore everything except for the sword, you would get a -4 to your agility.
Oh wait, I never checked. Is my sword, besides like summoning all this cool stuff it does, is it a whip sword as well, or is it just a regular
It is
sword?
a regular sword.
I was really enjoying the whip.
Anywho, that's where we're gonna cut it for today. It's 11 minutes before 12, and I want to go ahead and give Bam Bam a call and make sure he's coming, because if he's not, I'm gonna get some sleep early, and I will see you guys later on tonight. So, if you guys want to come over again tonight and watch, you're more than welcome. But this is gonna be sit and watch time. So.
But yeah, oh boy.